Hello everybody. So, I've never done a video like this before, but this is an album I'm really excited about. I think 21 Pilots is a really awesome band, and I just think it would be fun to have my first reaction to this album be on camera, so that's what I'm going to do today. I know 21 Pilots is kind of that cringy band to a lot of people, but I think genuinely they are putting out some of the best music right now, and I just love diving into the storylines and listening to different albums and things like that. And with 21 Pilots music specifically, it often takes me a few listens before I actually have a good grasp on a song. With this album specifically, I think this is my favorite in terms of the lore, how the story is going right now. I love everything having to do with how this is propaganda. I love the advertising. Everything they've been doing for this album is super interesting. As far as the 3 songs that have been released so far from this album, which are Shy Away, Choker, and Saturday, I like Shy Away quite a bit. I like Choker maybe as much, if not a little bit less. I really love the chorus of Choker, but Saturday is actually the first song that they've released that I really do not like. And that's never fun to say about an artist that you really like. You never want to say that you don't like one of their songs, but I also think it's not good to just blindly say that you love something just because you like the artist. But again, I love 21 Pilots, so I'm just excited to see what this album is like. I don't really have any predictions for the album itself. The first track, Good Day, Tyler talked about a little bit in an interview recently, and it sounds really interesting, so I'm definitely excited for that one. Formidable, he kind of teased a little bit on the Q&A live stream they did a couple days ago. I actually think that song is probably going to be about Jenna. If he's going through the thing where he has one song on each album about his wife, with Tearing My Heart and Smithereens, I think that Formidable is probably about Jenna, so that's my prediction. Okay, so starting with Good Day. Here we go. Can feel my saturation, leaving me slowly. Okay, so I really like that one. I really like that one. If we're going in the direction of a happier, more upbeat 21 Pilots, I really like that a lot. I really like that. I can't wait to look at the lyrics for that. I can't wait to look at the lyrics for all these songs, because I mean, I'm still listening to Vessel and Trench and Blurry Face, and after years of listening to them, finding new things in the lyrics, so I'm assuming it's going to be the same way with these. Really like that. I think it's a great start to the album. Usually the beginnings of their albums are like these super intense. With Jumpsuit, you have the bass that comes in, and it's like crazy. And then Heavy Dirty Souls obviously starts with a crazy fast rap, and Ode to Sleep is an amazing song. All of the albums kind of start with a song that really gets you hyped up, but this is very interesting. I'm going to skip the songs that have already released, so I'm going to go ahead and skip Choker and Shy Away. So the next song is The Outside. So here we go. Okay, that was a weird one. That was while I was listening to it, I kept thinking it felt like a mix of Pet Cheetah and Lane Boy, but like kind of like an early 2000s thing. Like I feel like my older siblings would have listened to this in like 2005. That's a weird one. It kind of has like the weird instrumentation of, kind of reminded me of Morph a little bit from Trench, and he rapped in it. Yeah, I think I like it. I like it more than Saturday for sure. So, I mean, Saturday is probably my least favorite song they've ever released. But, again, all these are going to sound completely different when I listen to them again. We're just going to move on to the next one. So, the song after The Outside is Saturday. I'm going to skip that. And then Never Take It is next. So, let's see what happens here. Okay, that was Never Take It. These are so different. Like, even that and Shy Away are completely different songs. I don't know what that sounded like. If you want to know my honest first thought, and I hate to say this, and I just hate to say it, it almost had like a country feel to it. They're like, no, 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 something about it had a little bit of a country vibe to it. And I kind of hate country music, and I doubt that was what he was thinking when he wrote it, but it kind of has that vibe to it a little bit. But this is one that I could see myself in like 6 months, after consistently listening to the album for 6 months, being like, oh yeah, that's my favorite song now on the album. After like a year or two of listening to Blurry Face and like skipping over Not Today, one day it was just like, oh yeah, that's like one of my favorite songs on Blurry Face now. Either like the lyrics clicked for me or just the sound of it, and now it's like one of my favorite songs on Blurry Face. But I feel like that could happen with this one. It feels like kind of like a sleeper hit, but it's so deep, so weird. All these songs are weird. It almost seemed like I'd have to go back into the lyrics, but towards the beginning it almost felt like some of those lyrics could be referencing the lore of what's going on. But again, whenever you're listening to a song for the first time, you're trying to hear it for the first time and also process it, but new lyrics are coming at you, so it's kind of hard to decipher the first time you're listening to a song. But okay, next is Mulberry Street, which had that leak. Well, there was the fake leak of, it was either Mulberry Street or Bounce Man. That was actually super good. If you haven't listened to that fake leak, someone just made a song that could either be Mulberry Street or Bounce Man, and it was super good. And it sounded real, but it wasn't. So anytime I think of Bounce Man or Mulberry Street, that song plays in my head. So it'll be interesting to hear what they actually sound like. So this is Mulberry Street. That's from the perspective of Dima, right? I could be completely wrong, but so many of those lyrics sounded like it was from the perspective of Dima. It had the "Keep Your Sunny Days" line in it, which has been showing up everywhere, and we figured it was probably a lyric in one of the songs, and it was. I mean, that just sounds, it sounds like there was a line about having strings on your hands and your feet, like a puppet. That just sounds so much like trying to put a positive spin on being controlled. But I really liked it. That might be my favorite song so far that I've heard. And we're already, man, only 4 songs left. This is the problem with having only 11 songs on the album, is it's just going by so fast. And it's been such a long waiting for more music, and then it's almost over already. But I mean, we're gonna have so much time to dig down into these lyrics and music videos and the live stream coming up, which is gonna be awesome. Okay, so Formidable is next. Again, I think this is gonna be the song that's about Jenna. But I'm also kind of surprised there hasn't been a song about Tyler's daughter, because I kind of expected there to be. Maybe he didn't want to commit. I don't know. I feel like there would be at least one song about her on there, but I think this is gonna be about Jenna. He said he wrote it on the ukulele and then went on to acoustic guitar, which if so, then this is their first acoustic guitar song. So that would be interesting. I'm sure it's not just acoustic guitar knowing them, but let's go. Formidable. Okay, so that's about Rosie. It's gotta be. That's about his daughter. I totally thought that was gonna be about his wife, but I mean, the thing about flash forward, was it 13 or 14 years, and now my loyalty bores you, like, that's gotta be about his daughter. I liked it. That reminds me of Legend a lot. I remember, I think I watched a reaction video for Legend, and while the person was listening to it, they were like, oh, this is about Jenna, and I was like, if you really listen to the lyrics, it's not. But Legend is one of those songs that if I'm listening to Trench, a lot of times I'll skip over it. It's definitely not one of my favorites or anything, but it is a good song. I feel like Formidable could be the same way, just because it's such a specific thing for Tyler. Legend is about his grandfather who passed away. Formidable's, again, this is a guess, but I think it's about his daughter, so it's much more specific, and for me, those songs are harder to listen to. And same with things like Bandito or Pet Cheetah, where it's clearly him working through a very specific problem for him. Those songs tend to be harder to listen to just because they're not as relatable. Okay, so next is Bounce Man, which again, can't help but think about the leak, which is great. I love that fake leak, but I'm curious what it's actually going to sound like, if it's going to have a similar vibe. I don't know. I'm interested. I'm very nervous the fact that there's only 3 songs left. I want it to keep going. But here we go, Bounce Man. You should bounce, 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 man, come to the house. Okay, that was Bounce Man. Who is that about? I remembered as soon as I started the song that I had a theory that song was going to be about Josh. It may be, but I also know it says on the iTunes thing that he got some of his brother to come do like the backing vocals. I don't know, that I feel like it may be about Josh. I want to hear Tyler talk about that song and have him tell us what it means, because I could say it's about Josh, but I'm not as confident as I am about like how Formidable is about Rosie. It's good. That's another one where I feel like I'll probably skip it maybe when I'm listening to the album. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Again, it's impossible to give a complete opinion on the song after hearing it for the first time. Okay, we only have 2 songs left. No Chances and Redecorate. I had heard, maybe I saw in an Instagram comment, someone had listened to the leaked album, which, by the way, just don't do that. We waited three years for this album. You can wait one more day. Just wait. It's more exciting to stay up and listen to it anyway. But I think the person said that these last 2 songs sounded a little bit more like traditional 21 Pilots. I'm guessing that means not as upbeat, which would make sense because we've now had, 9 pretty upbeat songs in a row. I'd say Shy Away, Shy Away is upbeat. The Outside maybe isn't super upbeat if I can remember it. So we'll see. I'm curious what these are going to sound like. I'm curious how they're going to close the album. Let's listen. Before I start it, I don't know why, I just got a feeling that No Chances is going to be like the darkest song on here. I don't know why, I just got that feeling, so I thought I'd say it so that if I'm right, I can look really smart. All right, No Chances in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I was right. That was insane. I called it though. You heard me call it. I said that was going to be the darkest song on the album. That was crazy. The only thing that comes close to, in terms of other 21 Pilot songs, is maybe the drop towards the end of Pet Cheetah. It kind of had a Pet Cheetah vibe a little bit. And then it would switch. It went from the really dark, like, chanting, which was crazy. Did not see that coming, into kind of a lighter, more I guess it was major chords and stuff. That was so weird. That may be one of the weirdest songs they've ever released. It was like almost a trap beat with chanting and like choir in the back. That was such a weird song. That was like an MMA walk-in song. Like, I feel like Conor McGregor would walk in to a fight to that song. That's gonna be crazy in concert. People are gonna go crazy for that song. I don't even know where that ranks. I really liked it. I just don't know where it ranks. That also sounded a lot like it had lore behind it. I'm already forgetting the lyrics, but it was something about "we're coming for you, you have no chances," maybe, is what it was. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. That was the very ominous, intimidating sounding part of the song. And so I'm assuming that is Dima talking, and then when it switched to the major, it almost had a Neon Gravestones. I wonder if it has the same theme as Neon Gravestones, where it was like, we get bodies every day, we want you to come back in one piece. Kind of sounds like another like kind of suicide warning, but it might not be. Again, this is a first listen. And we're at the last song already. If you look at the pattern of 21 Pilots albums, I think everything except for Isle of Flightless Birds on self-titled, every album has ended with a slow piano song. So I'm curious if this is going to lean more towards the vibe of this album being happy, or if it's going to end on a sad note. Yeah, this is Redecorate. Let's go ahead and listen to it. Again, I really don't want it to be over now. This has gone by way too fast, but here we go. Okay, so that's the end of Scaled and Icy. He said Scaled and Icy in it. Scaled down and isolated, or scaled back and isolated. That was definitely not how they normally end their albums. I think I like that. Again, these songs are so weird and different than anything that they've released, really. I almost feel weirdly, even though it's not like a happy, upbeat song, I feel like that could probably be on the radio, but I'm not sure. I think that works as an album closer, though. Tyler said that he knew from the start that Good Day was going to be the first song and Redecorate was going to be the last. So as a whole, if we're looking at the entire album, I got the feeling whenever all of this got announced, when all the promo images of Scaled and Icy came out, at first I thought that this was just going to be an EP, because, I mean, obviously everyone had the theories of it's all propaganda. So first of all, we didn't think it was even a real album at first, which is weird to think that that was only a month and a half ago that this got announced, and now we're already listening to it. But I thought initially it was just going to be an EP of like 4 or 5 songs that was going to have the propaganda vibe, and then like 2 or 3 months later they're going to be like, no, but here's the actual album, here's like the actual follow-up to Trench. But just if you look at things that Tyler has said in interviews over the last year or year and a half, at one point he said that he could go 2 very different directions with the next album. He was talking about how one was very much a follow-up to Trench, and the other one was a different album, which I'm feeling like is kind of more this. Like, this has the themes and some of the lore of Dima in it and stuff, but I feel like this was kind of the in-between album he was talking about. And in the interview he just had, he talked about how he could easily see a world by the time they're touring next year, they've released another album, and they're touring both of the albums. If he's ready to release another album in the next year and have it ready by the time they go on tour, that would be awesome. I mean, I'll always take more music from them, but this is definitely good. If I was to rank all the 21 Pilots albums, I would probably do Vessel, Self-Titled, Blurryface, Trench, Regional at best. But that's with me loving all the albums. So with one listen, there's no way I can place this. So yeah, hopefully you found this video interesting. I know I've never done anything like this before, but I'd like to kind of just start doing more random stuff on my channel. My channel seems to come to life every like 6 months, and then it dies for 6 months to 8 months, and then it comes back for like a month, and then it dies again. So we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna make any promises anymore of videos I'm gonna make. I just want to make videos that whenever I'm interested in it, it's fun to be able to talk about stuff that you like, and I really like 21 Pilots a lot, and I like this album a lot. So let me know what you thought of this album if you've listened to it. And yeah, I will see you guys the next time that I see you.